Hi, everybody. This is Eddy. I'm just going to do the market update for next week. So we had a really bullish week. We actually broke out of this consolidation range up here. This was a really important level to break out of, and we finally broke out of it, and then we rally up. So we're approaching that 200-day moving average, which is also this previous strong resistance point right here as well. This is a very key area to look at. So this area, I am hoping we get some sort of a retracement back or consolidation so that there will be a more sustainable rally on the breakout of this downtrend and out of this bear market and finally into a a starting bull cycle, right? So down here, this break right here was really important. So you can see we broke out of here. We got the stack moving average, and then we rally straight up, right? I thought we were going to get heavy resistance right here before and get a retracement before we hit to the 200. But what happened was it actually consolidated just like it did right here, except for it didn't break down, it broke up, right? So that's a really strong sign. And now that we broke up, we're hitting approaching the 200-day moving average. Usually the first try at the 200 fails. So we got to see what's going to happen next week. If the market picks up momentum, we're just going to break right through it and hit straight up to possibly 4,400 and then 4,600 after that, right? So just keep an eye out on that. If that does happen, you really want to get some money in the markets. I still would not put a lot into it because this is a very extended rally. As you can see, the RSI is highly overbought already. But once momentum picks up off the bottoms, they tend to go up pretty high too. So you want to really have some exposure, but just make sure you have some cash around so that if it does retrace back for retest, you have some cash flow to some cash to get back into it at a lower price, right? So the target is if we break through this 200-day moving average, aim for up here around this 4,600. There could be a high resistance right around that 44. As you can see, the that's where majority of the volume is, and that's a high supply area. So whenever you hit a high supply area, it tends to get rejected, right? So at least for the first time. So I am looking for rejection there, and then possibly come back, retrace back down, and retest this breakout range. If that happens, that's and then it holds, we're gonna get a really strong rally up, right? So keep an eye out for that. Let's take a look at the Qs. Very similar chart. The Qs is at this resistance point. It's approaching that 200 as well. The high point is up here at 365. So if we do have a continuation, we could actually just break through the 200 and go straight to the 365 because we tested the 200 a couple times over here and failed already, right? So this is the third try on the 200 already. And tech is leading us out of this bear market. So tech is what you want to be in, right? It's that's where all the money is going to flow into the high growth tech names. So it's good to have some exposure in your FANG stocks. Well, we shouldn't call them FANG anymore because there's only a few of the FANGs that's actually worth buying right now. So that's like Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, and Google, right? Apple already had a really good run. The stock that still haven't moved as much yet is Google. So Google will be a good value buy, and then Microsoft is still looking strong, and Amazon broke out of the bottom range and filled that gap already too. So we'll take a look at that in a bit. Right, let's take a look at IWM, which is a small caps. So we're right at this resistance zone. So as you can see, this is the volume shelf right here. So this is a supply area as well. So if we break through the supply area, we're heading back above to about this 210s, really important area because we consolidated all last year right there. So if we can break through that, we can possibly go back into the upper range and then maybe break out finally. If this does get back into this range, the growth names are going to take off, right? Like I said, last couple weeks, a lot of the growth names are coming out of the basis already. And And if momentum picks up and the retail buyers start coming in like it did in 2021, we could see a really, really strong recovery in those growth names. I'm not saying that we will, but like follow the momentum, right? Just follow the 8 and 21 till it breaks. Very simple. Okay, let's take a look at some stocks. So Apple, like I said before, once Apple breaks the 200, all the other names will start coming up as well. So Apple already broke through the 200-day moving average, and it has substantial gains last week already. And it's just gone straight up strong, right from 130 all the way up to 172. That's a huge recovery, and it's almost at all-time highs. So by the time it gets to all-time highs, is where I think that it's going to reverse. So keep an eye out on that. I want to see it to test the highs, retrace back to this 160 and hold, right? If you retrace back to 160 and hold, most likely the market will hold as well. And then that's where we're going to start a bull cycle. So, it's unfortunate that the market broke out so quickly because I did sell a lot of my stuff off right at the resistance area when S&P 500 was hitting that resistance area around there, and then here, let me show you. We exited a lot right here, right, and then we missed this rally, mostly because we had that red to green day right here, which scared a lot of people off, and some people went aggressive and shorted that thing heavy. I know a few guys that lost a ton of money shorting that right here, right? So you never really want to short until it breaks, right? You could start a small precision, but going all in just because you see one little candle is always a bad idea. And this is why, because we would get a FOMO rally right afterwards if it doesn't work out. So it's unfortunate for those people that try to short around here. I was actually looking for either a breakdown to retest this 4,000 before going to test the 200, or actually just consolidate and break out. So he actually did consolidate and break out. I did buy some TQQQ, but I'm not in a lot of positions right now. So I'm still just mostly day trading, and it's been working. So I'm just going to continue to do that. But I am looking to open some longer term positions now that we are picking some momentum, and we did break above this high right here. So um, I'm looking for retracement back. I'm looking for a retest of this area right here. I wanted to go test the 200 next week, maybe 4,400, and then pull back, retest this area, and then go higher. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so AMD. I did got out of my AMD leaps because we were when we hit that area, we were pulling back. So I had a lot of profits. So I want to take my profits. So I did take my profits. I left the puts that I sold on there. I sold some $80 puts, like leap puts, like for 2023, January 2023. So I did sell some $80 puts in that because that's an area I don't mind owning the stock. So I sold some puts around that area. If he actually breaks out this 200-day moving average, I will be going back into it, possibly. So I'm just looking to see what's going to happen here. It kind of held the 8 and 21, and it's just consolidating into a bull flag right now. So I think if the market will pick up, this will most likely go up as well. One thing I should caution you on is they do lower their guidance for Nvidia, Micron as well, and AMD. So they lower their guidance. Whenever they lower their guidance, I tend to take more caution when trading the stocks. So I tend to hold shorter term when that happens. So I might trade it, but I probably won't hold it now because they didn't lower their guidance. Amazon, what a rally up. Right down here, I was talking about this gap right here that possibly get filled. So we gapped up on earnings, and then we filled that eventually. Now we're hitting around the 200. We're consolidating. Right. So this area, if we do come back, it possibly can retest this gap to see if it holds. If you retest the gap and hold, the next try will probably break the 200 and go up. If we do break the 200 and this consolidation, because it does look like a bull flag, we're going to hit this 170 area. That's the target to play this. I would sell some puts to take some shares down on like 120, like low maintenance puts, just for some income, right? 120, 130, that's the area I wouldn't mind actually going back in now that I know that it's going to break out. So, if you look back at the chart, we're at that resistance. I mean, the worst case scenario, this is a heavy resistance, by the way. So if this gets rejected and we come all the way back, it can actually do come all the way back down to around this support area again if it doesn't work out. But I am looking forward to come back down to around this gap right here and then see if it holds right here before going up higher. I should take these off because I no longer invest in Meta and I no longer invest in Netflix. Although Netflix looks like there's a trade here. There's a gap fill error right here. I would probably, if I would trade it, I might sell some put spreads. And if it does go into the gap, there's a possible play of a gap fill from here to about 330, right around that volume shelf right there. So there's a lot of supply around this 300 to 350 area. So be very careful how long you want to hold it. But it looks like good for a trade. It's picking up some momentum after earnings. It broke out and then based it for a long time, and then it started breaking out on the base. So it does look like it wants to do a gap fill. So there could be a trader. I might actually take that trade just for a trade. But it's not like for me, it's not investable. It's good for trading because they don't actually make any money. So, all right, Microsoft. So Microsoft broke out this base. He had a nice stack MA consolidation right here, and he broke out. I did have a small trade on that, and then I got out after earnings. So we're hitting into this, reaching into this major resistance area right here. So you can see there's a lot of supply over here. So if it can break above this 316.50, 317 area, we're most likely going to go back to the highs again, right? I'm looking for a retracement back to get into these stocks as well. So, these are the type of names that you really want to hold for your long-term portfolio. So my long-term portfolio right now is majority cash. I do have some SPY, but that's about it. I took a lot of things off when you start breaking down over here. So, and now it looks like it could be time to start going back into it again. Google, I was saying there's a big base on Google. We're at this minor resistance right here. 200 is the area that I'm looking for, and then this gap area right over right here. This is a heavy resistance area, so that's our target. It's about 130. It's about $10 away. If you want to trade this, you can sell some put credit spreads. Probably. You can buy some shares and just keep it stopped like below the 8-day. You can do that as well. But and it's tradable now because they did the stock split. It's only $121 right now, so it's tradable, and it looks like it does want to hit around that 130 area. So this will be one of the names that I am looking to get into. I do have some leaps in this name already, and I will be looking to add to it once it starts breaking out. Let's look at Nvidia. Nvidia is still above all the moving averages. It's approaching earnings. They did lower their guidance, so we gotta see what they're gonna say around earnings to see what happens. If it's good, it might just go pop, right? Head around this 200-day moving average right here. So that's the target, is around that area. And like I already set my alert right here. So if it breaks above here, we're most likely hitting up here. Tesla's back at $900. See, Tesla broke out of here. I was looking to buy around this 800, around this range, around 800, 750, 800 range. It held, and now it looks like a bull flag off this bottom cup and handle type of pattern. So this looks like a bull flag. If this breaks out, we hit 1,000, 1,100, and then 1,200, right? Knowing Tesla, it's going to go straight to 1,200, right? If Tesla picks up momentum, it's just going to fly. So, but you want to be very careful, right? If things don't work out, that's what you're looking for right there. 850 breaks 850. It's coming down to 800 to retest this breakout range. If it does not hold, then it can come down to about $600. So you want to be very careful. This is a very temperamental name. So you have to keep your stops pre at the proper areas because it's volatile, right? The range is very big, and when it goes really it picks up momentum, it just goes, right? But if it falls, it start breaking down, it comes down really fast as well. So you have to be very careful if you're going to trade this stock, and if you have a large position on it. You like I said, you can make a lot of money. You can also lose a lot of money with these type of stocks. So what I normally like to do, if they do split, I will probably use options to play this. Right now, their options are very expensive. This is a $900 stock. So I'll see what happens next week. I might take a trade on it with shares. But right now, it looks good. It looks like it wants to break out. But you know, things can still change really fast. Momentum is start slowing a little bit, but that's just because it's in the consolidation. So I tend to ignore it once I see it's in the consolidation. As long as it stays above this 845 area, it should be fine. Let's take a few of these high growth names. Airbnb at a resistance point is approaching a heavy resistance area. This is a heavy supply zone because that's the area we broke down from. So that's the area that's mostly going to fail the rally and then pull back and then maybe go higher afterwards. So I did talk about this stock when it was down here during the 100s, and it did break out. I didn't play it because I was into some other names that had a better looking setup, so I went with those. But you know, if this thing goes, you know, it can go to 150. So you know, there's still room to move up if momentum picks up. So oil names, they're coming down. They're at a major support area. This is a very, very key area to hold. If you actually hold this area, it can go even higher, right? I know that there's a lot of people that are super bullish on oil for the next few years. So just because the supply is very low, not because of the demands, more about the supply. So the oil price could stay up. If oil prices stay up, oil stocks is going to go because they're literally printing money right now. So Synovus is one. It's a Canadian name, and it's one of the best names out there for oil stocks. So watch this area very closely. If you break above 20, we're going to go back to the highs. So I'm going to set my alert. We're at 20. 2002. And see if it actually takes off. Right. If he breaks down though, if he breaks this $15, $16 area, it's got a long way down. It's gonna come all the way down because once these commodity stocks, when they're strong, they're super strong. But once they start breaking down, you better get out quick because they tend to go down to barely anything. So I trade enough of these cycles to realize that, and definitely when they start breaking down, you want to be out of the stock quick. Devon, it's a U.S. name. It's a big name as well. It did break above. See, it broke above last week, and it's approaching back up to the highs because you can see on the volume show, there's really after it breaks above 65, there's really not much in the way of blocking it to go back to test the highs. So you know, oil names are at that support and bouncing off the support, so there could be a play there. Right, Neo. So Neo is looking very interesting. If this was not a Chinese stock, it would have been much, much higher. But there's a lot of like negative news around Neo as well as around Chinese stocks. So it's kind of holding it down. But if you look at the volume, the last few months, there's a lot of accumulation happening right here. So if you look at the volume compared to what it was for the past couple years, right? Past year, it's fairly low. And finally, when you hit these $12 to $20 range, look at the accumulation coming through. There's a lot of buying happening. And if you look at this is kind of like an inverse head and shoulder type of pattern. It's holding this moving average right here is getting stacked. If it can break a past 25 or 26, it's going to take off, right? So if it breaks 25, 26, it's going to go to at least 35, right? That will be the target First target is 35, and then 45 would be like my final destination for this stuff for the short term. So if it does take off, that's the key area to watch, is that 25 to $26 area, right? I have a very large position in deal. I've been trading around it ever since I got back in around 12. So I got back in heavy at 12, I should say, and then I know a lot of it at around 20, and then now I'm looking to get back into some more shares. I have a ton of leaps. I think I have like 1,000 contracts, leap contracts on Neo. So it's a huge position. It's a name that I think will be like Tesla back in the day. Once you start going, it's going to go really, really quick. So you might miss the opportunity to be in it. And but it needs a catalyst. It needs to have a very good catalyst, and then it's going to take off. All right, PayPal. PayPal is they gapped up during earnings. We did come back to retest the 8-day moving average to see if we can go back into fill the gap. It did not fill the gap. It held, and now we're at this area right here. So if it breaks above that 102, 103, it's most likely going to test the 200-day moving average around that 120, 125 area. So that would be a good area to take profits if you're in it. I don't know if I have precision in this or not. I thought I was going to trade it, and then I don't know if I bother or not. But anyways, that's the target right around here. Okay, SQ also it broke out the bottom range. It's consolidating into a bull flag. It's very similar to this consolidation right here. So we broke down. So now we're on the way, and hopefully we'll break up. Target is around that 100 to 110. And then if that happens, it's going to about 150. So there's a lot of room to go up from here. It's not bad to take a small play in this. You can buy some leap options or do some call spreads. We do call spreads. Use at least 3 months time to do this. Make sure the spread delta is wide enough for you to profit off of it. Julio, I have on my watch list. It's not moving yet. It needs to break above 100. Break above 100, it's going to 120 and then 160 after that. But there's a ton of accumulation happening down here. As you can look at the volume, how small it was before. Look at the volume right now. It's about 2 or 3 times the size of what it was. So there's a ton of accumulation. This is one of the names, high growth names that people are looking at to get into, especially for funds. So once you start moving, it can take off pretty quick. UPST, this was a big name back. Everybody was talking up this name, but as you can see, it died. But anyway, right now it's basing. It's still very early. It looks like it's going to break. Once it breaks, it's going to 60. So you could have a nice double here from here. I wouldn't mind taking this name and getting some shares. I'll probably do that next week. And then I did traded this with a call spread last week, and made about 60% on it in a few days. And then I never got back into it, but I'm looking at this right now, and I think I can go back into it. Your risk is very small because it's like your reward is significantly bigger than your risk, right? You have about $10 risk, but your reward is about like 30. So that's 1 for 3. That's a good risk reward ratio. It's a wide spread. So you have to go smaller if you want to hold shares and actually hold it, right? If you want to trade it, you just go in and you set a stop at the low of this candle, which is around $30. So you can do that as well if you want. At GD, so I talk about GD when we're seeing this consolidation right here. It did broke out, and is staying above the 8-day movement average. It's most likely it's going to test the highs. So GD is picking up some good momentum right here. These defense stocks are actually looking fairly good. This is Raytheon, same thing, defense stock, nice consolidation right here. I might actually have to buy this next week. This looks really good for a breakout. So it's in like this huge, triangle right here, and it's in an uptrend. So it's a consolidation in an uptrend. Those are always the best ones to get into. I'm gonna set an alert just to remind me, because I'll forget by the time I finish this video. So I'm gonna set an alert right here. If it does break out, I probably want to take a trade from here to maybe $200 to maybe 105. To play that, actually sell like a put spread closer to the money or even at the money is good. If you don't mind actually owning shares, you can take that. The risk reward is usually one for one or 2 for 1. It's not bad for the type of strategy is that with the put spread at the money. You can also do a call spread from 95 to say 110 around there. You can actually do the call spread as well. So Roblox last couple of weeks I made quite a bit of money off that. I think I made 20% off the shares. When it broke out right here, it got in. So and it's still going. It's at this resistance point. This is a very heavy resistance point. If you look at the volume shelf here, this is a high demand area, right? So there's a ton of supply up here. If you can break through right here, we're going all the way back up to like $80. So growth names like this, when they pick up momentum, they can fly, right? You can see the accumulation volume coming through right here. That's huge volume, right? And it's still very good momentum. And you just stay in it till the momentum dies. I did got out of it, and then that day where it took that big spike down, that's when I got out the rest of it and locking my profits, right? Because in this market, I tend to be more conservative till we get back above the 200-day moving average. So any kind of blimp in an uptrend, I'm out. Right. So Asan, I got stopped out of this one. I had a tight stop on it, so I got stopped up. I think that day right there. I seen the stat moving average, just seen the momentum start coming, going up, but I like to see more volume. They didn't have a lot of volume, so I kind of shake me out when that day fell down. So it did shake me out, but it held the 8. I had a really tight stop on it because these growth themes they tend to go down really quickly. So I kept my stop pretty close. Target, probably around $40. $40, $50 at the most, and then it's going to come back down a little bit. In mode, so I did really well with this stock. I had a really large precision on it, and it took off. And I trimmed some on the way up on that really big. I trimmed some and then trimmed some, and then I sold the rest of it last week when I had those red days. I sold them off. It looks like it's holding the 8. It's in the bull flag. If it breaks above here, it's going to 45. There's a play there. I might need to sell some puts to get back into this at 30, maybe $30, 30, 32, 30 to $32. I want to get back into. And if it actually holds right here for a little while, I might just buy the shares and set a stop around 33. So that if it goes to retest at 45, I'll have myself another pretty good gain right there. Right. Anyway, that's it for this week. There's a lot of ideas in this video, so that's what we do in Discord every day. So if you guys want to if you guys are not a member already, check us out. We have a fairly good Discord. I'm just going to show you what our Discord's like. So this is our trade alerts. So we look through the trade alerts. Last week's been we've been killing it all week. So we have a lot of gains last week, right? So all of these are profitable trades. We caught a lot of those bottom breakouts. So these are a lot of our profits we've been taking on those type of trades. And I kind of explain where to enter, where to exit, just like I did in the video. And you get to take the risk management that I teach in the course. But yeah, if you guys want a lot more of these ideas and these type of trades, make sure to check us out. Sign up for Discord. If you are new, we do have a course as well. We have an advanced level 1 course, which is a comprehensive course for swing trading. And then we have a day trading course for those that really want to take it to the next level. And then we have our just our Discord alert service as well. And you can learn off what we talk about in our chat rooms. Anyways, the links is in the description, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.